Chiles. I'm 28 and I'm still single. And being single at 28 is kind of weird, right? Because I got friends and they did it right. They've got the whole package. They've got the wife, the kids, the house, and the white picket fence. And then I got other friends who are more like me, where they just can't be bothered to do the dishes, so they eat their dinner off of an upside down frisbee. And it's getting harder to date girls my own age, because the older I get, the older they get, they're really getting a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for, smart now? And it's tough out there, you know? I mean, when I take a girl out now, I feel like I'm on that episode of Border Security. Do you know the show? It's like, they pull the security guards watching people coming in and out of the country in the airports, you know? And they always ask those guys the same 3 questions they ask me. They're always just like, how much baggage do you have? How much money do you have on you? And how long you staying for? And I'm not responsible by any means, so I still feel like I'm that frat boy going to Mexico for the night. I'm just like, I don't have any baggage. I only got $100, and trust me, let me go home in the morning. Sometimes I wish I could, adopt some airport policies, I mean, now airlines will charge you extra for every piece of baggage you bring on. And I wish I could, work that into my dates somehow. I mean, I'm not cheap by any means, but sometimes, you go out with a person and right away, you're just never going to see them again. Halfway through the conversation, if I hear things like on fleek, or baby daddy, I mean, it's not gonna happen, right? I actually went out with this one girl though. She was great. She paid for dinner and everything, but I kind of deserved it, right? Because she used the word technically still married, and I mean, it was a good thing we came in separate cars, because I drive a little Civic, and there's no way I'm fitting all that baggage into my trunk. Yeah, needless to say, I've been on a lot of bad dates recently though. I feel like I'm just like the Statue of Liberty for broken women. I'm just like this shining beacon of hope, and they all see the slogan is, bring me you're tired, you're poor, and you're ugly. And they just kind of flock to me. Really, it's my own fault though. I still pick up girls from the bar when it's closing, after the lights come on. I mean, have you ever been in the bar when the lights come on? Trust me, there's nobody's A-game there. I mean, it's like the last pick of every party you've ever been at. But on the upside, whenever you talk to a girl, they're just happy to be picked. They're just like, hey, what's up? But I mean, really, going to the bar is scraping the bottom of the barrel in the dating scene, right? But I mean, sometimes in life, scraping the bottom, it's not so bad, right? I mean, I got a dog, and I could have went to a breeder and got a purebred dog with this amazing lineage that's trained and will respond to my every command. But I just said, fuck that. I went to the SPCA, and I got a rescue dog. And I mean, this thing was so beat up and broken and malnourished. I mean, it was just happy to have someone that loved it, right? And I take that around my friends, and I get that. They're like, oh, you're doing a good thing, right? You're putting so much love into this broken little bitch's life. And it's like, I do the same thing with women, and then my friends are just like, Nathan, you gotta stop dating crackheads right now. This is not good food. So I try to step up my game, right? And I figure, hey, maybe the coffee shop is a place where I can find a little bit better women, right? But unfortunately, my game doesn't really transfer all that well, right? I mean, because I don't know what I'm doing, but I got a routine at the bar. So I go to the coffee shop, and I'm just buying these girls shots of espresso. And then once they say yes, I just start grinding on them to see I only got one number that night, and it was from a lawyer, because they call it cops. Apparently when you grind on a girl in public that's not at the bar, it's just this side of sexual abuse. Just this side. So I tell my friends this, and I'm just like, I don't know, I'm a nice guy, what do I do, right? And the one friend, she's like, hey, why don't you go to the gym? You can meet a lot of nice people at the gym, it's a great place, people are active, you just gotta make sure you're not a creeper. And I found out the hard way that the difference between being a nice guy and a creeper at the gym is a 6-pack, so I still got some work to do. But I'm hopeful, I'm optimistic. I'm like, going to the gym's a good idea, obviously. So I go there and I'm going for a run. And I'm feeling good about myself. I'm out, I'm being active. I go in and get a drink of water, and I see this girl come up to me, and she's like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I'm just like, "Wow, this happens, I guess." I'm just like, "Good, babe. How are you?" And she's like, "No, like, are you okay?" I'm just like, yeah. And then I realized that she's wearing like a gym uniform, and she doesn't see me as a date, she just sees me as an insurance liability. So I'm like, okay, I got this, I'm just gonna move on, I'm actually gonna work out here. But running is not my thing. I'm gonna use one of these machines, right? There's all these machines all over, and I'm paying for it, but I don't know how to use them properly, right? But I learned by watching someone else. So I'm watching this person, they got good form. I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna wait until they're done. It'll be fine. And so I'm just watching, trying to figure out how to use it. And then this beautiful girl, she looks up and just with this big smile on her face, and she catches my eye. And I'm like, okay, she's not working here. She's smiling. Maybe this is happening, right? Maybe this is going to be the story that I tell my grandchildren. But then half a second later, that smile just turns into a look of pure disgust and fear. And I realize what she's looking at. I'm so out of shape here. I'm bent over, sweat's dripping down my face. I'm all red and I'm panting. I'm just like, and she's just scared. And I'm not trying to be that guy. I want to be nice, right? But all I can think of in my mind is just to say, I'm not a creeper. I'm just watching you. Needless to say, I'm still single. But being single, it gets lonely sometimes. I can admit that. I'm lonely sometimes. So I'm just like, what am I gonna do? I know. Let's go make friends with little kids. So I joined up with Big Brother. It's a legit organization, right? I mean, it's a great idea. It's setting up lonely old men with troubled young boys, right? Surprisingly, it works out very well. It really does. But I mean, that's the thing, right? Sometimes you need a group of people to make something socially acceptable, right? Because if I'm in a parking lot, and I'm having a barbecue by myself, you're just like, that guy's living out of his car. Right? But if you get enough people, you're like, fuck yeah, tailgate party, I'm there. Or if I walk down to the beach, I walk around naked, people call the cops, you're just like, this guy's an exhibitionist. But if you go down to a beach and you got enough of us, it's like, we're naturalists, we're getting in touch with nature. And it's kind of weird, it's okay, right? And then it's like, sometimes it's just so far offside. I mean, like, if I'm walking down the road wearing nothing but assless chaps and a rainbow thong, you're just like, what the hell is this guy doing? Someone call the cops. But if you get enough of us together, it's just like, hey, I didn't know the gay pride parade was going on. But I mean, yeah, groups are great for that, right? Can you imagine if I tried to, be friends with a little kid just on my own? Because I'm a nice guy, I'm a role model, I'm a good citizen. I want to make a difference in some little kid's life, right? So then I just walk up to the elementary school and just be like, hey buddy, do you got a daddy? No? Here, get in my car, we can be friends. It doesn't work, right? I hate to say it, but now that I know, if you're at a coffee shop or at an elementary school, the cops show up a lot quicker to the elementary school. Thanks very much, everybody. That's my time.